This is my husband, Serge Morency, and I'm Izzy Morency. Serge was first diagnosed when we lived in Pensacola, and I was working at Sacred Heart at the time for a physician group, it was primary care. So we met Dr. Iyer, and he was a really wonderful doc. I mean, you could tell he really cared, and he just had a true vocation in his heart. Serge said, use me as a guinea pig, because, Serge was so distressed with his symptoms and things. He couldn't do his construction anymore, remodeling, all those things just started being taken away. His memory, just all those things were affected. And he just wanted Dr. Iyer to pretty much try anything. And so Dr. Iyer did, and helped him get his meds straight, because that's a really difficult thing sometimes to do. Dr. Iyer has helped get us connected to the Patient Assistance Fund, because we couldn't ever pay for those meds. And those things, those meds that they put him on really were so helpful. He's only down today because, his arm.
Broke my hand.
He broke his arm. One of the things that really helped Serge a lot was getting the physical therapy, occupational therapy. Makes a huge difference. And so he hadn't had any, he's been having falls. So now we're, since we moved here to Gadsden, we're getting all hooked up again. When we moved here, it was a little bit hard to find somebody in this little town we moved to, because one of the things as a caregiver is I'm not just taking care of my husband, helping the caregivers is a really important part, because that when a patient has Parkinson's, their family, whoever takes care of them, has it too. That's how it feels. You're not just sick by yourself. Unless you have no one to take care of you. The move was very hard to see him have to go through his things. It took us about twice or three times as long to pack, because it was such a grief for him. It's like cutting off his arms or something. And taking someone's identity away. So I feel like in a lot of ways, Parkinson's has stolen, big, huge parts. He had built a tree house, and he had done a lot of work, and we had to leave that and sell it to strangers, and that might not really appreciate it.
Parkinson's has different sets of clothing.
He says Parkinson's has different sets of clothing.
There's no surprises. Everything's a surprise.
There's no surprises, but everything is a surprise.
Yeah. I'm surprised that you feel so good today.
You're surprised when you feel so good. It makes you feel optimistic too, because then those are the days too that he'll go, hey, I'm going to build something. I'm going to run the saws. I'm going to do dangerous things today. But
yeah, and it sucks you into a false sense of being,
mm-hmm.
and you fall, and the ground's not getting any harder, but my body is not able to take falls. I get used to.
He was saying that some days you feel very well and you think you can do all these things. He said, when you fall, right, the ground isn't any harder, but your body breaks faster. And then just depending on his reality, he's never sure about it, because, he does have like a lot of hallucinations. Serge used to write a lot of poetry, and now probably would need to write down what he says, because he says things and I can't repeat it, because it was like good the first time. What I hope is that memory movement spreads the news, their good work all across the nation. I would love to see Charlotte Memory Movement go everywhere, like every freaking state. Their message is so important. And the thing that I really love about it is any doc that works there gets to be a human being. It seems like a really tough vocation. And I used to work in a medical office in the hospital before, in Pensacola and in Charlotte. What Michael J. Fox started that kind of thing was bringing some kind of a awareness. But I feel like memory movement just takes that a step further, and they're not afraid to try new things, to do everything they can to, to help people have a better quality of life and to maintain and prolong a good quality of life. And I want to see their mission spread all over the country, maybe, and all over the world, because I think they have a really great mission. They've helped keep this man alive